G'day guys, Crypto Trader Vader here. I've got part two of my interview with Doug from digitalcurrencytraders.com, and I asked him about his routine, in particular why he keeps a journal of his bad trades and his good trades, and why he regularly analyzes them. Let's take a look. One of the things I liked about your video straight away was that you were, presenting in a way that you were very honest about the fact that you're still practicing and that it's still a struggle. It's not that you're this master that knows everything and everything is instantly easy for. So I guess, yeah, that's something that I think appeals to a lot of people as well, because you're honest about that, right? It's still a practice for you. It's still something you have to work towards.
My first website was in July of 1997, and it was a personal daily journal of my paper trading that I would update and then share on the forums so that I would get feedback from really experienced traders to help me get better. And then in 2009, I hated the job I was in. I was sick of the circumstances I was in, and I was really working hard at making money work for me. So I was studying everything I could about success, and I started the website Lumbridge City, so that I could share my journal of trading items in the RuneScape Grand Exchange, trading the chart patterns and practicing that stuff. And I was teaching youth how to trade like a stock trader instead of listening to the price manipulators inside the game. So when the cryptos came out and one of my RuneScape merchanting students actually asked me, "Have you been trading cryptocurrencies?" I had to go and Google it to find out what cryptocurrencies were. So when I found out about them and I saw those markets, I knew right away that I was going to be trading these markets because you could get in with little micro positions. And I wanted to get as good as fast as possible. So I started again making my trading journal so that I could go back 2 months, 6 months, a year later and review what I was thinking that day to see what are my good things that I was thinking and reinforce those positive things, and also to identify the negative things that I was thinking or the wrong things that I was thinking so that I could correct my trading as fast as possible. And I think some of my videos are great, but even better is the comments underneath those videos, where some people have been giving feedback to me that's been fantastic for helping me. And then of course, anybody who's watching the video and reading those comments is also gets assistance. It's great.
So I guess the next question is, why can't you just, from a position in the present, look back and think, well, what did I do, or what was I thinking then? Why is a journal different from that, from your perspective?
Oh, because I can never remember what I was thinking 2 months ago and be specific about it. But yeah, that's what I was. Then I go back and review it, and no, I have to. The journal is really important to be able to stay clear on the specifics of it, because you rethink the market, and every single day when the market changed, the prices changed, this relative to that, you rethink everything. And for my own part, I don't remember those details without going back to review it.
Yeah. Something fascinating that kind of I've noticed over the last year or so, when I bought my first Bitcoin when it was like $50, which is not that early, but it's pretty early, obviously, compared to where it is now. And I remember speaking to people when the price jumped up to around 1,200 or so, and I was advising them, I think it's still going to be going up higher. I think it's worth a lot more than this. I think it's going to change things, and they would say to me, something along the lines of, well, you got in when it was cheap, because it was easy back then to buy it because it was cheaper. And of course, that mentality back then, $50 was actually really expensive for a Bitcoin. In my mind, I was like, what is this virtual? I'm paying $50 for literally nothing but some code or some, a number in a ledger. And that was that psychology of like, what is expensive and what is not. It is warped through memory. Like, I can look back now and I can think, yeah, Bitcoin was cheap, but at the time, that's not the case. So it was far from easy to hold those Bitcoin or through the ebbs and flows.
Yeah, definitely. And I think you're hit on a right point there, where your memory warps a little bit, especially I found when I was holding a losing trade and I was holding it and the price was going down and I was holding it, and I would look at the price chart and say, oh, okay, there's some historical price levels, it'll hold here. And it went down below that level. I'd look over at the next historical price levels. Okay, it'll hold here. And as it went down, I was like that frog in the boiling water, that the water slowly got hotter and hotter. And I'm not really realizing how hot it is until all of a sudden I go, oh my God. And I close the position and the price turns around and goes the other way. But it's that psychology of changing your perspective moment by moment as things are getting worse, but you're rationalizing against just the last moment, not 10 hours ago when it was much different. The same with climate change for all of us. We're just rationalizing the last couple years, not the last 200.
Yeah.
And by the time it sneaks up on you, it's very painful.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's something that's so strange that it's hard to kind of document as it's occurring. As you said, it's something that happens only when it becomes painful, or it gets to a point where it's like, holy crap, look at this trade. I've lost such an incredible amount of money. And only at that point, out of the despair, does a trader sell.
Yes. And that's one of the perspectives that when I was reading Phantom of the Pits, that was so important for me, is it gave me a way to look at the markets so that I didn't get myself into that position as often again, where I'm rationalizing, holding this, hoping that the price is going to go up. I'm rationalizing that the project is good, or whatever reason is that my belief is stronger in the holding the thing than looking at the price chart patterning and saying, okay, it's broken the trend line, it's made a top formation, and the moving average has crossed over. I should be getting out according to technical analysis, but I've got a stronger belief in the project than the technical analysis. Then I end up holding this thing for a longer time and getting huge losses. Then I'm bag holding for months at a time, waiting for the thing to go back up. And all of this is negative to your psychology. It's a negative feeling to lose money. And so by reading Phantom of the Pits and changing my thinking about entering a trade, I was able to take my losses much, much quicker. Then they're very small and much less painful. And that perspective changes, of course, to believe that I am wrong when I put on the trade. To start off with the belief that I think it's going up, but I'm wrong. It's one of those fake out breakouts. It's manipulation, whatever you want to call it, but I'm wrong at this moment. It's going to go against me just exactly, and only hold that trade if it proves you correct. So as soon as I put that trade on, I'm looking to take it off immediately. I'm waiting. It's got to prove me correct immediately, or I'm taking that trade off. Another thing that Phantom of the Pits did that was really helpful for me was the rule number 2 was to add on to your position when you're proven correct. And to do that, you need to keep some of your money. You can't put it all onto your trade. Otherwise, you can't add on to your trade.
Yeah.
And so by putting on a small position at the start, when I took that loss, it was very, very small compared to if I had put on my whole position and then took the loss. It's much more painful. It's a bigger loss. And so those two rules together made it easy to take those losses quickly because it was a very small loss with only a part of my position. And by assuming I was wrong to start off with, I was protecting myself from those huge moves that can sometimes go against you in these markets, where they start off small and then they just go massive. So it was really important rules to change my perspective and protect myself from getting into those losing trades where you're rationalizing everything and you're being baked like that frog.
Yeah, and you mentioned something that's like very prevalent, I think, in cryptocurrency traders, because it's drawn a lot of people in that would normally not be trading, and you get this thing that happens where you're either a genius for picking the one coin that does move up, or you're a long-term hodler. It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I guess I wanted to get your take on the daily practice stuff, because you, through your journals, through your posting on the forum in the early days, through posting on Lumbridge City about the RuneScape trading, and obviously in crypto trading, these regular journal updates where you document all of your thoughts. Why the practice? Like, is it something that you are doing purely for being able to look back and see the perspective, or is it something that you're doing to continue to learn those simple trading formations that you look for?
Well, I'd say there's two main reasons that I do all this. First one is for my own success. I still have financial goals that I want to achieve. So I need to study all these things over and over again so that I keep improving. And my trading really still needs to improve. Recently, I was going through cointracking.co and I was looking at all of the charts showing the historical prices and all of my buys and sells. And I was looking at the price chart of the last year of trading for the markets where I was profitable and the last year of trading for the markets where I was not profitable. Now, even though I was making videos every week, even though I was taking screenshots and studying all this stuff and making predictions every week or every 2 weeks, when I look back at my actual trading versus my real trading plan, I can see that I was way over trading about a year ago, and that I was trading very poorly from August, September, October, November, because I was looking for the bottom on that downtrend, looking for the bottom, looking for the bottom. So I was taking small losses, small losses, small losses, and really over trading. When I look back now and I review against what my trading plan is, where the green and red dots should be on that chart, it's getting better over the last 8 months. But in the past, it was very terrible. There was lots of losing trades. And so I'm doing studies of all that stuff so that I, again, cement this stuff into my mind. It's only through repetition that you build a belief. So it's easy to do this kind of trading when you really believe in it. But when you're not really certain, it becomes very difficult because you have so many conflicting ideas coming into your mind. So many things that come up from day to day that may change your mind when you're zooming in on the market. But when I take a long-term perspective and I study all of my trading over the last few years, then I'm able to sit more comfortably on my trades when I make the decision, and I can wait for the money to actually work for me rather than me sitting watching the charts all the time. Then I am the employee of my money. I'm working for my money. It is not working for me and giving me free time. And so I'm doing a lot of this for my own success and for my own benefit. And the second reason is because I think that putting all this stuff together into a format that other people can learn from is going to make a bigger difference in the world than I can make on my own personal one-to-one meeting people. So putting the stuff on the internet, putting the course together can help a lot of people who may be struggling with the same mistakes that I was making, and it can make a difference in their trading. I know that if I had changed one bit of thinking from my own trading last year, I would have made more than double my profits. One specific thing, if I would have changed my belief at that time, I would have doubled my profits.
Wow.
So if somebody can take my course or watch the videos and pick up some little technique that changes the way you think and feel about money, or gets you back excited about it again so that you're back on the path, then I think that my life has made a bigger difference in the world. And I sort of give credit and thanks back to the people who helped me through creating the books and the courses that they did, that I took those courses and I learned from them, like Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, or Phil Laut's Money is My Friend, or Phantom of the Pits. All these guys wrote stuff that made a huge difference in my life. And so I create my course, so hopefully it makes a difference in people's lives. Even after I've passed away, perhaps there are people not yet born who will take my courses or read my book, and it'll make a difference in their lives as well.